is to fill this wire with black beads, which will become the center post of my next basket. So I take this long wire that's attached to the top of the pole and I unspool it with the basket on the floor, and now it's the slower process of spinning this little bead bowl to get beads onto this wire. So you spin, you get a little section of beads on that wire, and then I move it down the wire so it falls down to the floor, and then I just keep going over and over and over until there's maybe a foot of the wire at the end with no beads, because as you twist it around the center pole, it actually expands the beads a little bit. It pushes them farther and farther down the wire. Once I've filled up this wire and left this gap at the end, I take my little crimping tool and bend a little half loop into it that prevents the beads from falling off the end as I'm working with this wire, so that the beads can fall to the end and stay on. The next step is to take this wire that's full of beads and slowly wrap it around this pole. When I get down to this spot where the second set of wires is going through the center post, I twist this wire one time around those. That kind of lets me rest my hands. It also gives it another anchor point, and then I continue twisting all the rest of the way down until I get to that tiny screw right there. Okay, so I reach the end. I'm going to take this wire and I just twist it twice around this little screw. That pretty much ties it off. I've got this extra piece of wire with bead that I don't need, so I'm going to snip this off. Pour these beads back into my bead bowl until the next time. And then I like to cut this remaining wire a little short and try and tuck it into the beads that are there, so there is no sharp end of the wire remaining. Next step is to spread these spokes out so they're evenly spaced around the bottom basket area. So I start with putting the tiny ring on top, and the first ring I do on the bottom where the top is always the slowest because I have to get the spacing just right from the middle, and it takes a while. After the middle ring's done, I do the same thing to the next ring where I attach one point, and then I do every third point to hold it and space it properly around the middle. Once the second ring is done, then I attach the chains. To do that, I put 4 beads and then the chain and then one more bead before twisting it around the third ring. I have 2 little pegs in this board so I can stretch it out and quickly cut them all to the same length.